every day I'd have to take the train into Philly and get off at the 30th Street station in the middle of Philly. And one day I had to go to the bathroom. The one time I chose to go to the bathroom, I walk in and the guy next to me at the sink slumps over and falls straight flat on the ground.
Welcome back to the Voice for You podcast, where we empower the leaders of today and tomorrow. I'm your host, Jeshwant Vana. Today, I'm joined by a young leader in our community. He is a dedicated leader and advocate for public health and emergency medical services. As the founder of Project Clean Slate, he has been able to combat the opioid epidemic through community education and Narcan training, and has made an immense impact in his community. He also serves as a battalion chief, where he has expanded youth involvement in EMS and his community as an EMT. He has been awarded for his passion with the 2025 Coca-Cola Scholarship. Leading his community through public health and emergency medical services, or through the way of medicine, he is Mr. Rohit Lobo. How are you doing today, Rohit?
I'm good. How are you, Jeshwant?
I'm doing well myself. You know, it says Jeshwant, but I just go by Jesh. You know, just cut off.
Okay. I was gonna ask you just to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, a lot of people, they can't. I've gone Joshua way too many times, so I just cut it
Got you.
off and it's just,
All right,
just
bet.
straight up. But yeah, how are you doing today?
I've been doing pretty good.
Uh,
Didn't do much today, actually. Just woke up, went to the gym, and came home.
Nah, it is pretty early. I woke up like 2 hours ago, so I don't blame you at
What
all.
time is it there for you?
It's 1.
Oh, we're an hour off. Okay.
I'm in CST time, so yeah, that's
Got you.
a great thing about the U.S. You know, 4 different time zones. With Arizona being a little bit different, because Arizona runs shit weird. It's low key kind of.
Are they not in like one of the time zones?
No, they're not. They don't observe daylight savings time at all.
Wait, what?
It hurt. Well, it's confusing as.
All right, I don't even want to think about Arizona then.
They're
God.
like the only state to not observe daylight savings time. So they're like, I don't even know. That shit hurt my head. I'll be so honest.
I'm
Definitely.
gonna be honest, I didn't even know that until now.
Yeah, that was. I had a problem when I was like, scheduling stuff, but you know, I never thought that fun fact would ever come back and bite me in the butt. But
Wait, what time is it in Arizona? Now I'm looking this up.
no, it says that they observe daylight savings, but they don't. They genuinely don't.
Okay. They have 2 different time zones too, apparently.
It's a little off there, cause when for like daylight savings, right, we push ourselves an hour forward or like an hour back. They
Yeah.
don't do that at all. Their government said no.
Yeah, it says they do not, and they only go Mountain Standard Time, except the Navajo Nation. Okay, we're going too far into this. Yeah.
It's confusing. Obviously, it is your senior year, so and we are very well into summer. So how's your summer break been going?
It's been really good. I just got back from my senior week,
Okay.
so we were all at the beach. I haven't really done much else this summer except
Okay.
go to the beach so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the beach is the beach. Like, is it
Exactly.
like I know Pennsylvania is like.
Yeah, we're technically landlocked and we've lakes, but we drove down to Maryland
Okay.
for our senior trip.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice.
It's kind of a tradition in our area. It's like our school and like maybe 11 or 12 other schools right around us all go to Ocean City, Maryland the same week and book
Oh.
Airbnbs.
Okay, and then obviously is it like mostly like all of your senior classes for each school or
Yeah, it's just it's only senior classes, only students only,
Okay.
and like 10,000 of them on one beach.
10,000? That's basically a convention at that point.
Yeah,
It-
it's kind of insane.
That's low key fun. That's low key.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think my school has any. We don't have any crazy traditions like that. Once graduation is done, our school does not.
That's off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you're off on your
Well,
own.
technically, it's not school sanctioned. It's just
Yeah.
been a tradition among the students.
That's
you know?
fair. That's.
Yeah.
I know. Obviously, senior trips is like famous amongst everyone. I want to go on a senior trip. Obviously, I am a rising senior now, so I have a year to
Yeah.
think about that.
You definitely should.
I want to like really really bad. I don't know where. I don't know how. I just want to explore a little bit. I've been
Of
a
course.
traveler, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. But before we get into the interview, tell me a little bit about yourselves, your hobbies, your passions, and who you are as a person.
Okay. I feel like I've into this a few times now for college and I hate it, but this is more chill, so I like it. Well, if you didn't know, my name's Rohit. Gonna be going to Penn State for my undergrad, but I'm a part of their BSMD program. So I will be there for 3 years and then I go to med school at Jefferson in Philadelphia for 4. So basically the next 7, 12 years of my life are kind of planned out and I don't have any choice anymore. But that's all right, because I'll be a doctor. Apart from all of that, I really love to play volleyball. I love being outside, being with friends. I'm really like a social person, so I'm kind of always around people. If I'm alone, don't have anything to do, that's when I just like leave my house and go to the gym or do something else because I can't just sit still. I'm that type of person. I don't know what else there is about me other than all the things I do. And I feel like we'll get into that later.
Oh
But
yeah, definitely. I'm not as a good journalist and podcast host. I've done my research, so you don't worry about that. Definitely.
sounds
But
good.
yeah, I one of my closest friends, his brother went to Penn State for BSMD too. So
Oh, really?
yeah, from here. I think
Is it like recent or is he still there?
I think he graduated. I was talking to him the other day. Super chill dude. He graduated the other day. He graduated, I think, this year. I'm not sure. But
Okay.
he was also
Yeah.
on the Penn State BSMD. He was talking to me about that too. He was like, he's trying to do something on YouTube, like, educating people on the BSMD path and like
Yeah.
that experience is. So definitely. And obviously Penn State is, a crazy party school. But before I get into all the college stuff, I like to start my stuff, like my interviews, more lighthearted, with a icebreaker question. So if
Okay.
you could have anybody, it doesn't have to be an actor per se, but if you could have anybody play yourself in a movie, who would it be and why?
Me myself in a movie. Wow, that is an interesting question. I'm gonna say Michael B. Jordan.
That's fair.
Only I don't really have that much of a reason, only because I mean, first of all, he looks like Michael B. Jordan. Second of all, he was crazy and like all of the Creeds and everything, and I love those movies. Probably one of my favorite movies. So
Definitely.
I'd say Michael B. Jordan.
Have you watched Sinners?
I was about to. I'm supposed to be going. It's still in the theaters where I am.
Yes. Yeah, I went like 2 or 3 days ago.
How was it?
Technically, we bought tickets for How to Train Your Dragon because they wouldn't allow us to watch Sinners because it's rated R. You need a person above 18.
You're not 18. Okay.
Yeah, I'm turning 18 in like December, so. And everyone else, it was like younger than me. Well, actually, one of my friends he's a senior, but he turns 18 in like July, or I think it's like August.
That's
around, like,
useless.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like. So we decided we bought How to Train Your Dragon, and then we snuck into the theaters to watch.
Walk
Sinners.
in.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
good movie.
It's good.
It's
Okay.
I mean, for a general, like, if you're a movie fanatic, then it is a good movie. Like,
Okay.
especially because it's very deep and like with American history. So if you understand American history to some extent, then
Okay.
you'll enjoy it. But from a general movie goer, just like a normal movie watching stance, it's low key kind of like just
Really?
the plot itself. It's like very basic. I personally didn't like the like ending of how like the everything just like wraps up. But
Okay.
as a movie itself, as a movie fanatic myself, I thought it was very rich and very visual for sure.
Okay.
100%.
I'll keep that in mind when we all go.
Definitely. The music's beautiful though. There's like one scene, like I think it's like it technically in like indie movie terms would be like during like the interval block area, but it was in the middle.
Okay.
It was really nice. It was a good.
Yeah. No, that's I'm excited for it.
I've been a big Creed. I've watched all 3 Creeds. I love all of them. The first Creed, it was the same actor director duo as Sinners. It was Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan for Creed.
Did not actually know that, but that
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a movie guy, so
I can see.
yeah. Personally, which one of the Creeds is your favorite?
I think Creed 2. I wanted it to be Creed 3 when I was watching it, but I low-key think I like Creed 2 better.
For me,
in general.
it's 2, 1, and then 3. 3 was low-key kind
Yeah.
of mid, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it got hyped up a lot too, so then I was like expecting so much and it was alright.
Yeah. Creed 2
Yeah.
Creed 2 set the bar way too high too. Like the
Agreed. Yeah.
Creed and Drago rematch, that's
Yeah. Your order 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
That's my order too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because number one was good, but two, it's just like the amount.
It beat it.
Yeah, for sure.
Which usually doesn't happen when it's a
Yeah.
series.
Oh,
but
100%. It's
it
usually
did.
the first and
Yeah.
then second, but yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
definitely. But obviously you have mentioned, first off, congratulations on, graduating high school. It is a big achievement, and obviously now it's a whole weight off your shoulder now. Obviously,
Mhm.
new weight going in with Penn State BSMD. And obviously you have mentioned, usually I ask next, like, what school have you committed to? But you have mentioned that you are going Penn State BSMD. So what about, that program and college in general attracted you to commit there?
Well, for as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be like a physician. I knew I wanted to go into medicine in general. So I think the BSMD route was really attractive in the way I don't have to apply to med school. I don't have to really worry about doing all the extra stuff that normal pre-med students would have to do, and I could focus on finishing my classes and then doing what I wanted to do for fun before I have to get to med school, and then suddenly my whole life turns upside down and I have to lock in for the next like 20 years of my life, you know?
Yeah.
I think not having to worry about all that extra stuff and being able to focus on the stuff that I liked was what I wanted to do in undergrad. So BSMD became really attractive. I still applied to other stuff, just in case and stuff. I was really actually debating between like Vanderbilt and Duke or Penn State, because they're such good schools and I really wanted to go and everything. But in the end, I think I just valued that guaranteed med school admission more. I like prestige for undergrad in general.
Definitely. And obviously, you are located in Pennsylvania, so it is like close to home.
Yeah,
Did you have any
I didn't mind that.
did you have any like battling thoughts? Because I know a lot of, especially like in the Indian community itself, there's a lot of like people
Mhm.
like, I don't want to stay in state, I want to go out of state. Did you have any battling thoughts like that?
I didn't mind staying in state, but I didn't want to be in Philly at least for my first 3 years. At least Penn State's like it's like 3 hours away from me,
Okay.
so it's at least it's a ways away. Pitt would also be like a good 6 hours away, so I didn't mind staying in state as long as it wasn't like Penn or Temple right next to me, because
Yeah,
that's where I live. Yeah.
definitely. And Penn State is a hard party school. You definitely know you're gonna have fun there. For
I will be having
Yeah.
fun there,
I've heard.
and I'm excited because BSMD, they don't make me take any extra like gen ed classes.
Yeah.
I do have to, but not that many, so my schedule is actually really chill.
Okay.
Meaning I have time to do whatever I need to.
Just don't go overboard, because I know
Well,
Penn State's like when they say party school, it's like Miami, Penn State.
Bama,
Yeah, Bama. Yeah, them.
those three, yeah.
Definitely. My dream school, obviously you did mention Vandy and Duke.
Duke,
Yeah, Duke's been my
Yeah.
dream school for a very long time. So
you got it.
yeah, and then Vandy's like is basically in my backyard. So those are two schools that I've definitely been
yeah.
looking
Yeah.
into for sure. But
They're both so nice.
Yes.
Yes,
I've
I
heard.
had reasons.
Yeah, I've heard that both campuses are very, very beautiful. They're prestigious too on top. But
Yeah, they definitely are.
yeah, definitely. But obviously, with the BSMD program, the guaranteed, going into med school.
Yeah,
And 'cause
exactly.
do you still have to take the MCAT?
For my program I do,
Okay.
but I only have to score a 508. So it's like the 75th percentile. So
Okay.
if I like scored a 508 anywhere else, I wouldn't get into med school, but
Okay.
so it's
So
easy.
you're
It's
chilling.
a lot easier.
Okay, you're chilling.
Yeah,
You don't have to study as hard, but you still got to study. at
Yeah.
BSMD.
Yeah, pretty much. I just have to like look over some stuff.
Okay.
And I'll be
Okay.
fine.
So you're basically set. That's really nice. Just side question: does BSMD also include like public health too, or?
So it depends on what you want. You can like double major or minor in undergrad with stuff like that. Or what I'm looking to do is they're gonna let me do an MD, MBA
Okay.
in those 7 years along with my med school.
Okay.
So that also puts me into the business side, so then I can start working in public health, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's kind of they give you the options and give you the opportunities to do it, but you don't have to.
But like public health isn't a part of like the BSMD like track.
No, not necessarily. It's just pre-med med.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But obviously it's like set for you for like the next 7 years. Obviously med school, you have 4 years. You can worry about that in 4 years. 3 years.
Exactly.
3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to finish school faster too. Like, dang, bro. Okay. That is the beauty of the BSMD, the beauty of the
It
route
is.
for sure.
Save some money, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely, definitely. But obviously, in order to go this route and the BSMD route, you have to have some crazy, crazy extracurriculars because BSMD is not easy to get into whatsoever. Like it's like up there with like top colleges getting into those kind of programs. And obviously, the extracurriculars and your passion for medicine shows that you are, willing to put in the work and have your fair share of fun on the side too, such as you are the founder of Project Clean Slate, which aims to combat the opioid epidemic. So, where did you get this idea to start this initiative?
So, I've been working as an EMT, first of all, for a few years, and at least in my area, especially in Philly and like the area that we live in, opioid overdoses and addiction in general is a large part of most people's lives, and you do see it here and there. So, working on the ambulance as an EMT, I get calls here and there. Oh, this person's overdosing, you need to come get them, take them to the hospital. And I think right after I graduated my EMT class, my first call was actually an overdose. And it was the first time I was technically allowed to actually treat a patient. So I gave him Narcan. Do you know what Narcan is?
That's what they use to combat opioids.
Yeah, it's like a little nasal spray and it kind of just reverses an opioid.
Okay.
So it was the first time I gave him someone Narcan and he came back in like 2 minutes. Or I gave him 2 doses and he was back in 2 minutes. And it was the first time a patient actually just came back to life right in front of me. And it kind of just stuck with me. Later on, the patient did pass away in the hospital from other complications. But I went home and I was talking to my friend about the whole experience and the call. And realized because Narcan is so easy for anyone to use. Like, I could literally just go right now, 5 minutes, teach my mom how to spray a little dose of Narcan because it's like an allergy spray. So we thought that maybe something like teaching Narcan, giving it out into the community and training people on how to respond to this, especially in an area like ours, would be really beneficial for the community when more people are prepared. And that's how we got into Project Clean Slate and decided to found it.
Do you say like the Narcan spray?
It works literally like an inhaler or like an allergy spray, anything like that. It has a little plunger at the bottom. You just go
Okay.
press it and it shoots out.
Okay, and obviously a part of Project Clean Slate, that is one of your big goals, not only educating people on the impacts of opioids and how bad they can be, but also training them just in case stuff does happen for sure. And obviously, a opioid, for anyone that doesn't know, it is a drug. It is, and having an opioid overdose means you have a drug addiction. And usually, when dealing with topics like drug addictions, there is bound to be some sort of crazy experience, whether it's like, with someone on the street or something. So, have you encountered any experiences like this yourself personally?
Yeah, it's a funny question actually. Well, outside of EMT calls, that's a given that I'm gonna like see stuff here and there. After we started this whole project, I just started keeping like a little box of Narcan in my bag because I mean I had so much at home anyway and we're distributing here and there. Might as well keep one in my bag. And I was at my internship at CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, last summer. And every day I'd have to take the train into Philly and get off at the 30th Street station in the middle of Philly. And one day I had to go to the bathroom. The one time I chose to go to the bathroom, I walk in and the guy next to me at the sink slumps over and falls straight flat on the ground. And there's a bunch of needles and white powder falls out of his pockets. And I'm like, oh great, I guess this is perfect. This is not good at all, but I guess it's perfect. So I pulled out the Narcan. I like yelled for some help and police actually were in the station. There's a station inside the train station. So they came pretty quick, but by then I already gave him Narcan and he was like starting to come back. He was a little groggy, but he started to come back.
Okay, so you did your work with Project Clean Slate. The extra. You did save a life. Did
I have.
that?
Yeah, and actually we have gotten a few emails over the past year now or year and a half from like parents or people we've given Narcan to before saying that they were able to use it and they would like another dose and like stories about little experiences that they've saved a life in here and there.
Definitely. Does that, obviously saving a life, does that ever make you feel like proud of like what you're doing?
Definitely, and I think it just pushes me to keep working on it. Like, obviously, everyone's extracurriculars in high school. It doesn't mean you're gonna continue them in
Yes.
college. Some of them, like I can't really do host anymore, but I did love it, and a lot of random clubs in school are gonna die off now because I'm not in school anymore. But something like Project Clean Slate, where I feel like I've had an impact and continue to having an impact, I think it just pushes me to continue it. And me and my friend and all the other people I brought into this project are planning to continue working on it through our college.
Definitely, definitely. And
Yes.
obviously, you're still like in the Penn area, so you can obviously
Yeah,
work with, that stuff there too. So you can
exactly.
always, train others to help you at Penn State too with like any.
Exactly. And trust me, I feel like it'll be needed at Penn State.
Definitely at Penn State. Yeah, Project Clean Slate. You probably should start like a little club there too,
Yeah.
just in case. And obviously, Project Clean Slate itself has gotten a garneration from other organization stuff such as the CDC, EDC. It has
Mhm.
gotten,
That just happened,
yes.
actually.
So, all of that, it's like y'all are doing it for a reason and it's paying off and you're getting the recognition. Especially like a big city like Philadelphia. There's obviously gonna be, problems in such a major metropolitan area per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. And then
Thank
Penn
you.
State, it's Penn State. So always.
We'll find stuff to do,
Yeah,
exactly.
always has to have a good can of Narcan on you just in case something goes wrong, and then you save another life there too. So a win is a win.
Well, hopefully I won't have to, but
If
hopefully I'll be there if I need to.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully nothing happens, but you know, it's always better safe than sorry for sure. But
Agreed.
definitely. So you also, like you have mentioned, you also have a long history. You started Operation Project Clean Slate because of the fact that you were a EMT, and you do have a long history as a part of the. Correct me if I pronounce this wrong. The Euclid Ambulance Corps.
Euclid.
Euclid. Okay. This
Euclid.
is like a
Yeah.
bunch of.
It's
Yeah.
hard. I don't know why they spell it like that.
The Euclid Ambulance Corps, serving as not only you serve as secretary, a part-time EMT volunteer, and battalion chief. So what is your backstory with the Euclid Ambulance Corps?
So the reason I started there was because it was like freshman year, and I mean, obviously extracurriculars weren't really on my mind freshman year, but then my mom saw something on Facebook saying that kids are volunteering at the ambulance station, and she just sent me there. And I met a bunch of my friends who also got sent there at the same exact time. So we decided, you know what, why not? Let's just stick through this. And a couple of weeks in, this woman walked in and offered us all a free EMT class if we continued volunteering, and she sponsored our EMT class. So I did it, and I stuck with it, and eventually just got certified as an EMT a few months later. It was like 4 or 5 months, and boom, now I'm riding on the ambulance. And because of all of that, because I was an EMT and because I was a part of this youth program that was already there, we started to become like leadership in the program because we were already senior members, we were EMTs riding on the ambulance, we knew what we were doing. So that's when I became secretary, and this kid who'd been there for a year longer than me became like, back then it was president, vice president, secretary. Um, so I started up there, and then they graduated, and I went to my junior year, and I became battalion chief. And they changed up the name, so then I became battalion chief running the whole youth group last year. And it was just a really cool experience because we grew the program to having like 75 students volunteering for us, learning about first aid, learning about EMS training, training to become EMTs, training to ride on the ambulances. And then we took them out on like little community events in the summer and whatever, so we could teach little kids how to look at an ambulance and spread the word almost and get donations for our station. So I think it just had a really big impact. This past year, in March actually, I just mentioned to you that we had an EMT
Yes.
conference. Me and my officer team, me as a battalion chief and my captain, lieutenants, we became the first youth members to ever attend an actual EMS conference, and then actually spoke and gave a 1 hour long
Yeah, yeah.
seminar at the conference about how youth should be more involved in EMT so then we can bring more people into the EMS field, because otherwise everyone's going to retire and then we're going to have no more EMS professionals.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Do you plan on like continuing with like the EMS field? Obviously, you did say you want to be a physician, so
I think this has definitely been a stepping stone for me to get to where I want to be as a physician, but being an EMT is a perfect job for me all throughout undergrad. So I think I'm going to continue to volunteer until I actually get that MD and I'm able to be a doctor instead of an EMT.
definitely.
So yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
It's obviously good experience too for going into field of medicine in general because EMT is just like on the spot, work. Obviously,
Yeah.
you are trained. You did get certified for EMT, and you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So
That's what I love about it, the fact that I like show up on a call and I don't know what I'm supposed to expect, and then I have to figure it out on the spot and then treat this patient in like
yeah,
seconds, right? So I think that's why I like really like medicine, not in the way that I would be a specialized person. I'd be like in the ER, like an ER doctor, an ER surgeon, where I could just get different things every like couple minutes and figure out what I need to do.
definitely, definitely. So you did mention that you did give an hour long. Did you have to like prepare any of that like beforehand? How long did
Yes.
that take?
Well, we were supposed to start preparing December to give our presentation because we were like they registered us as speakers and had our seminar scheduled for the conference. So our like there was an hour blocked off for the conference for everyone to come watch our seminar. So we started the presentation in December, but we honestly kind of forgot everything third marking period of school because all our tests started coming in, grades started like cracking down on us, and then we revisited it early February to lock it all in and finish it up, and that's when we submitted it. And then early March is when we went there and presented
Okay,
it.
so technically speaking, you did have 4 months.
I had 3 months to do it, or 4 months to do it, but we honestly spent one
Okay,
month.
no, that's fair. That's fair. Procrastination can be a pain in the butt sometimes, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
especially you did this during your senior year, I'm assuming. So
Yeah. Yeah.
senioritis is gonna hit hard, like hard,
Yeah.
hard. I mean, obviously, I don't know how that feels like yet, but hopefully it doesn't. Because I know I've heard senioritis. I've had junioritis, and that's not.
Yeah, I had junioritis. I promise you, right after your college apps are done, and the minute you start getting college acceptances back, like that March, April time when you like basically know what you're doing, you're not gonna want to do anything.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's what I've heard. Because like when my junior year, my school has it so we have 4 classes one semester, 4 classes another semester. My junioritis.
Oh, so you can't have senioritis.
Sort of. It really just depends on like what classes you get second semester. They'll make sure that you get your easier classes second semester, so you don't have to like stress out that much. And a lot of the senior classes here are like easy, because seniors are trying to do that much work. But
Yeah, it makes
junior,
sense.
my second semester junior year when I started hitting junioritis, I had AP Lang, AP Calc BC, AP Chem, and AP Physics 1. So having junioritis plus all that, it's not a good combo, dude. I'll be so honest.
It's really
It's
not.
it's
Yeah.
very deadly, especially.
Well, you survived, right? We just passed junior
Yeah,
year, and now it's
but I
done.
don't know how well I did on the AP exam. Yeah,
It's
it's
fine.
whatever. It's whatever. They don't.
What are you trying to go into? What's your intended
I'll be
major?
so honest. I can't tell you. I'm everywhere but nowhere. Cause all of my
Do you have like a interest?
I've been thinking public health. That's why I asked you that question earlier. I've been
Okay.
thinking public
Yeah,
health recently. I have like extracurriculars in every field, from
makes
business
sense. Yeah.
to biomedical engineering to advocacy. Obviously, as a CTSO member yourself, you know how much advocacy we have to
Yeah.
do, part of them. And then broadcast journalism, film, media arts, digital media.
You'll be fine then, honestly. Just lock in for like a couple of the science AP exams and your math, and you're fine.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, because all the AP exams I had last year, except for like Lang, they're all science and math. So, and they were like hard ones too, like Chem, Calc BC, and Physics 1. Not for the and part.
Yeah, I just took physics one.
How'd you think the exam went?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I was a
Yeah.
senior this year, so I did not pay attention
Okay,
to
that's
anything, did not do anything, just made sure I had an A and
no.
left class.
That's
So,
that's like every kid in my physics class, even if they're not seniors, because physics is like stupidly hard at my school. Like getting a 3 on the exam is a miracle. Like that's how bad it is at my school. Everyone gets 2s.
yeah, I have a feeling I can maybe pull a 3, but I'm not pulling something over
I think I can pull a 3.
that. Honestly, I don't even remember taking the physics exam, man. That's a problem.
It was the last exam too. There's no shot.
Yeah, I had prom that day, right after it, but I genuinely don't remember taking it whatsoever.
Low key, it was easy. It was low key easier than I expected. From all the practice exams, it was easy. So, yeah,
Was it?
yeah.
Okay. I may have just on some of the like I took AP Spanish, let me tell you. Don't
I've
take
heard
AP
of it.
Spanish unless you love Spanish. But I took AP Spanish cyber, so I did not learn anything and no one taught me anything and I just walked in and took the AP exam, knew I was gonna fail, and then put C on
No,
everything.
that's fair. That's fair. Obviously, for a lot of the top colleges, you need to take like 3 or 4 years of language in order to even like think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. But then you don't need the AP exam credit, you just have to take it.
that's
So
why I'm
it's
taking
fine.
Latin 3 this coming year. Cause
Oh yeah,
yeah,
good luck.
I've heard the Latin 3 at my school is not bad, but also I never paid attention to Latin 1 and 2.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure
Three?
it out.
Nah, it's gonna be an air bowl. Trust. Oh, but it definitely. I'm excited for senior year. I'm scared.
You'll have fun. Senior is fun.
That's what I've heard. Only get it once. Gotta make the most of it.
Exactly.
But coming back as battalion chief, you did lead the largest EMS-related youth program in the northeastern United States. That is a big chunk of the U.S. And especially that's like the most grouped area because you have like New York City and Philadelphia, Boston,
Mm,
all of
yeah.
that. So did you ever personally travel anywhere outside of the Philly area or like Pennsylvania for any of this? Yeah.
Or EMT. We did go to a conference
Okay.
in DC called GEMS. It's a big EMS conference there. There are other EMS conferences that are big, but in general, they always happen in either Pennsylvania
Okay.
or DC or like outside of this country. So we didn't go that far. And just to add, not trying to brag or anything, but apparently we are the largest one in the United States now
Even better.
because
Even better.
there are not that many in general. So
You can still say I am the technical president. They just renamed like is that president or vice president staff?
yeah, it
President.
is. No,
Okay,
it's
so I am
president.
the
Yeah.
president of the largest EMS related youth program in the US. That's crazy. That's wild. That
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many people. There's still like 80 people, but apparently it's
don't
the
matter.
biggest.
Still say no one's asking for that number. So when you say largest, you're just like largest. Dang,
Fair
that's
enough.
big. And obviously being the leader of that too, it's definitely something. For
Appreciate
sure,
it.
for sure. And you do have the experience to go behind this. Did you all like part of like being a battalion chief? Obviously you do work as an EMT and all that too, but did you ever like go talk
Yeah.
to like youth like outside about joining the EMT program that you were a part of?
Yes. Well, we host a lot of like open houses and general community events that our communities run, and we have like a stand there with a tent, and we pull up our ambulance to show everyone, and then like kind of gather people in and tell them about it and get people to join. And then apart from that, a lot of our like connections that are like locally, like Boy Scout troops or like random little school events, and we show up there and teach them how to some first aid skills, some EMS, and then have them like get interested in joining the
Okay.
youth program. That's mostly how we've gotten all of our attention. Apart from that, it's just been like word of mouth, and our area has a lot of brown people too. I'm just gonna say that, like Asian people and brown people, and every Asian and brown person looking to go into the medical field
Yeah.
sees this and sees how big it's gotten, and we're like, okay,
No,
we gotta
and
join.
trust me,
We gotta join.
the word brown plus medicine, that is a lot of people. Trust me. Like, obviously, we both are brown people, Indian people, so we both see this. I know we have pre-med club here that has like 200 people, like 100 to 150, and it's not like we even do anything in the club. It's just the word pre-med brings in so many people. I know a lot of
Yeah,
people for our
that makes
HOSA.
sense.
There were a lot of people interested, but there's an application process to get in. So you have to like write like it's like a 3-page application process. It's like annoying, but obviously I made it past both because I know HOSA and TSA both at my school they both have application process. I got past both of those, got in. I'll be honest. The reason HOSA, I don't have a foot injury, but I walk like the way I walk. People say that I walk like a duck. So I wrote about that and how I got my foot ran over as a kid, and because of that, I wanted to go into BME, and that got me in. It's been my running story for
Okay,
anything.
there's a college essay right there.
I mean, I don't really know how to elaborate on that on a college essay per se, but
Giving you advice. Start. What's the date right? You know what? It's already June. Low key, start writing your college essay. Just your Common App,
yeah.
not the rest. The rest of them, whatever. But write your Common App specifically because when it opens up in August and you start looking at everything, there'll be a shit ton of other essays for all your other colleges, and you don't want to be writing your Common App because without your Common App, you can't apply to anything.
Yeah.
So write your Common App and get that edited beforehand, and then you can worry about
Definitely.
everything else later.
I wrote like a opening sentence for my Common App essay, and then I deleted it because I didn't know where to go from there. Like it was low key. Like it was a good starting point, but I did not know where to go from there. And I just like 3 or 4 days. So
If you ever randomly think of something in your head, just write it down.
Definitely.
You got it.
Like I said, I'm not ready for this, bro. College FC is gonna kick me in the.
No, you are. You'll be fine.
Duh.
It was chill.
I mean, obviously, you can say that because you have like all these extracurriculars to help you like this all that.
No, it's like even the essays thing. Like I don't care about the extracurriculars when you're writing all these essays, especially when, like for me, applying to all of these BSMD programs, but they're all BSMD programs. So when I say that is, they may tell I had like 5 or 6 essays per program plus the college stuff, but then you realize half of them are all basically the same. So I start copy pasting essay. I wrote like the first like 4, and then I started copy pasting and editing and copy pasting and editing. You'll reuse the first 5 essays you write for your whole.
That's what I've
3
heard.
months.
That's what I'm.
You reuse as much as you
I'm
can.
planning on doing too.
Exactly.
But you know, obviously, along with Project Clean Slate and you know your battalion chief status, you are also a You are a CTSO alumni, serving as Pennsylvania HOSA vice president. Is that just straight up like executive vice president? Because I know there's like vice president of service and stuff for like other states.
No, for our state it's straight up executive vice president. And then we have the other positions under
Yeah,
that.
obviously I'm also a CTSO, member myself. Yes, I serve as Tennessee FBLA's vice president too. So vice president.
Got you. Like executive vice president.
Executive. That's why I asked that question, because I know for like Tennessee HOSA, there is a East Tennessee vice president, West Tennessee vice president, and then Middle Tennessee vice president.
We have the same exact thing, and then we also have an executive vice president, which is
for us. It's just only executive vice president, and then there's like secretary, treasurer, reporter, and then webmaster. So
I was actually originally trying to run for like Eastern Pennsylvania vice president, like the section, because did not have the confidence to go up that far. And at that moment, like I hadn't gotten all of this other like recognition until this, like HOSA was one of the first things that started, right? Because it was like it was junior year. No, when did I run? Yeah, junior year. But Pennsylvania does it weird where once you go into HOSA and you tell them what you want, and then you get interviewed in front of, they say it's an interview, but then you walk in and there's 90 people, there's a whole panel watching. It's like all the delegates, so it's not an interview, it's just being grilled on the stand. And then you give a speech, and then all of them get together, vote, discuss, and then slate you for a position that they think is right. So whatever I said before and what I wanted to run went out the window, and I was freaking out. I didn't want to get slated for something too high, and then I got vice president, so it was kind of stressful, but
that's
it
the
worked
same
out in the
thing
end.
for us too. For us, they told us to run for state office, but they asked you like, what position do you want? And personally, I was fine with anything. Like I'm like technical skills wise, I'd be fit for webmaster because I do like graphic design and all that. But also like president and vice president doesn't hurt either. So like, what? And then they had us go through an interview. There's an online interview. Obviously there's like a bunch of essays before that, and then an online interview, and then. Did you guys, because I know for HOSA, a lot of the HOSA people that I've talked to, did you like actually have to like run with like campaign booths and all that? Like,
what do you mean?
Because for like, here, let me show you. Yes.
Like, do we have campaigning? Yes. So basically, our people ran it where they had an application and essays and everything beforehand and a test. And then everything else had to happen in those 3 days at States, where the first day was our whole interview speech. They slated us that night. The second day was another big speech in our campaign, and then that night everyone voted. And the campaigning was like they just gave us time to meet all the delegates, go around, hand out little stuff, have posters up.
So y'all, because I know like when I was talking to like my Tennessee HOSA friends, they said that there was no campaigning whatsoever. It was just straight word of mouth, just talking to people and telling them to vote.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to campaign. They just there was just one 30-minute session where you could meet the delegates, and then the rest of the time If you tried to campaign, that's on you. If you didn't,
We
that's also on
had,
you.
so here, I can show you. We had a thing where we actually had like to create a poster board beforehand and, make a
Mhm.
slogan and, everything like that. Here, yes, here it is. It's like, Loki might not see it. You might not be able to see it because of the glare.
I
Yeah.
can see it now. I see it. FPLA Questlog. Your best guess is Jesh.
That's
I
what I
like it.
ran with. So, and then obviously that, you had the interviews. All the candidates, there were 7 of us. 6 of 7 got slated. All of us stood there for like 6 or 7 hours, like 5 to 6 hours, campaigning, just talking to people that came to the booth and, started talking. People that part of this kind of like CTSO, that's like the fun part of like running in general too. Like meeting people.
Yeah.
There was this one girl when I ran,
Exactly,
she
yeah.
was talking about opening a cat cafe. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually
And
fun.
obviously,
That's cool.
like mine's is like business related, so a lot of more, business. Obviously, you've had some people probably. Have you had any like crazy stories like that yourself come up to you?
Well, not really, because I feel like in medicine, there's a lot of stuff you have to do. But
Your former host team showing that y'all are super duper tight. So, how was your term as Pennsylvania's vice president for Penn HOSA?
it was definitely amazing. Like, apart from the work we did, just like posting on Instagram, raising awareness, advocating at like DC Capitol Hill, doing all the stuff for like medical funding and CTSO funding. I think the best part was obviously meeting people, like you said before. Did the FBLA have something like a leadership conference where you meet other state
Yes.
officers?
Well, technically that's like what is like state training, like officer training. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
guess
had
that's probably what.
like
Yeah.
that this poster right here is actually from state training. We had that too.
Okay, I have this similar poster from what we called WLA, Washington
Okay.
Leadership Academy,
Okay.
and we all
No,
went to DC.
I know HOSA. HOSA does that separately. Cause I know all of my HOSA buddies, they were
Yeah.
saying that they're going to DC and all that. And all the HOSA officers meet in DC.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like all the host officer teams from each state, but no one else, just
Yeah.
officer teams, show up to DC for like 5 days together. And apart from it's like a lot of networking, a lot of icebreakers, a lot of team building, and then in general, just time to like meet people,
Yes.
socialize, like leadership train kind of, and then take a tour of DC together. And it was, you meet so many people that all have like the same passion as you, the same skill set as you, same like thinking. So it's kind of like really cool to vibe with so many people at the same time, where you're not like, you don't have to figure out, hey, are you like interested in science or the medicine field? Oh, wait, me too. Wait, no, in general, everyone is, you know what I mean? So it's just easy to connect with everyone, and it was really cool. I think that was my favorite part. That's not even what you asked. Yes, my year was great. I made a lot of friends, and honestly, what made the year so good was working with my officer team.
Definitely. And obviously, as we can see, you and your officer team are very, very tight, and that is something. But obviously, like you said, I personally like leadership training academies. It's like, because it forces you to come out of your bubble and actually be interactive with everybody and, talk to people and,
Exactly.
get to know them. And like some of my closest friends, like obviously I got super tight with my team, but I've made very good friends with, one of the host state officers for Tennessee. I still text him, like I still text him on the daily. He's basically my twin.
Yeah.
So we're all super tight, and I'm excited because technically my term is just starting. So there's a lot more time left and a lot more.
Yeah, making friends outside of just the officer team, 100% true. The person that was texting me just now is a host officer from North Carolina, and I have a bunch of friends, my host officer and a couple from Ohio and Missouri that were literally just calling me right before this
Yeah, and
interview.
obviously,
So shout them out, shout
yeah.
out to all of
And
them.
obviously,
Definitely still in touch.
ILC is going on too right now, so they're all together,
Yeah,
in technically my backyard of Nashville, Tennessee. So, definitely, your phone's definitely gonna be ringing for the next 2 or 3 days, for sure, from all your OSA buddies.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
And
sure.
obviously, as a CTSO officer myself, I have been told, especially like before, going like the day of getting elected into state office, that you and your team will become tight as ever, even after your term is over. You're basically going to be family for the rest of your life. So, how true do you believe this statement is?
I think at least for my team, it's definitely true. What I've heard and what our advisors told us is, and what we've also heard from the past teams is in general, a lot of teams end up having like some arguments and beef because I'm gonna be honest, like when you make an officer team, whether it's FBLA, DECA, HOSA, TSA, you're putting six or five or six or eight random people together that otherwise might never actually meet, might never actually talk. And the only thing they have in common is
Exactly.
that club, right? So it's kind of like a 50-50 shot. Are they all gonna mesh perfectly, or is some of them gonna be like not working perfectly? And I think this year with my officer team, we genuinely, even though we were so different coming in, genuinely all just understood each other perfectly and it worked so well. So like to the point where outside of HOSA, throughout this year we've been hanging out and it scares our advisors because we're out doing something random and not HOSA at all, and they don't want anything bad to happen, but we're just so tight as like family and friends outside of HOSA that it is working. And so for us it's
Exactly.
definitely true. And for some teams it might not be, but I think no matter what, it'll push people together, whether it stays like that because it works or whether it doesn't. That's for
Yes.
everyone.
And obviously, Pennsylvania is a massive state in general. So how like is there like are you like when I'm talking like close, I mean like, you know, distance wise, would you say you're close to a lot of your state officer team? Especially yeah.
Distance-wise. So yes, turns out I guess I kind of got lucky this year. Apart from Arshia, our one Western Region Vice President who lives in Pittsburgh, who is 5 hours away, all of us are on the Philly side, so we're all like within like
Okay.
45 minutes of each other. And our Central Region Vice President had to leave HOSA because he like moved to another state, so we don't have him. So everyone on our officer team is right congested in one side of the state, and then we have our lone officer on the other side. But we do invite her to everything
Definitely.
and hope she can
That's the
come.
same thing with my team, except I'm in the place of your West Region Vice President because I live 3 hours, like 3 or 4 hours away from everybody else.
I'm not sure.
So I can't really interact with because everyone lives in like Middle Tennessee, like the Nashville, Franklin area.
Like the
Not
Knoxville
Knoxville.
side.
Knoxville's like 3 hours from Nashville too. It's basically like
Oh,
the
okay.
West region's represented by like Memphis. The middle is Nashville, and then East is like Knoxville, Chattanooga. You can debate on that, but yeah, I'm in the same boat too. Cause everyone, like especially going east way, everyone was like, "What part of Tennessee are you from?" Everyone goes Middle Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and my little butt over here goes West Tennessee, and then everybody. And my friends, like my other CTSO friends, they're like, especially because Memphis gets like a really bad rep for like crime and stuff. It's like, I'm not coming to Memphis, dude. The crime there is bad. I don't want to get jumped.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll send you some
Hey,
Narcan.
who knows? It definitely could probably work down
Maybe you
here
need
for
it.
sure. 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
I live like in like the
100%.
suburbs of Memphis though, so it's like an hour away from downtown. So it's not like
Okay.
yeah.
That's probably where it's at.
But trust me, in the town I'm in, it's all elder white people. It's a lot more.
Understandable. That's around where I am. It's either younger Asian
Yeah,
people or
no,
elder
definitely.
white
And then
people.
there's a massive Indian community in where because FedEx is only like FedEx headquarters is only like 15-20 minutes from here. So that's why everyone moves here.
Yeah.
And if it's usually FedEx. Yeah,
Gotcha.
for sure, for sure. But you know, along with all this medical related stuff, you are also a social person. Obviously, going to Penn State, you got to be some sort of social life. And obviously, we do follow each other on Instagram. I have seen, you know, your reposts and stuff. Very, very lively, very energetic person. So, with stuff such as enjoying playing volleyball. How good at volleyball would you say you are?
I
last
started
year?
playing volleyball last year. I'd say I am really good
Okay.
for someone who started last year. I am not college level, like division athlete
Definitely,
level
definitely.
good, though. But I was starting varsity.
So you started last year and you were on varsity. Okay.
Yeah, but apart from that, I'm not like I wouldn't come to
Definitely.
college
But,
for it. I
No,
can't do that.
starting last year and then going varsity straight up, that's crazy, dude. What?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was fun.
Oh, that's crazy. So that means even though you say you're good for a first year player, you are good. You're on varsity. Just like you say, you're more of an indoor volleyball guy or a beach volleyball type of guy.
Well, our season's obviously indoor because it's our school season. And that's where I mean, actually, I learned playing grass the summer before like school because that's when we all started playing like as friends on like a grass court with our parents. So that's where I learned it, and then I joined the school team that year. So I definitely got really good at indoor. But then recently, now we're playing grass and beach again
Yes.
because indoor is done, and it is a lot of fun. I think I like
Okay.
grass the best though. Beach, beach is really fun in general because, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
there's sand, it's the beach, but it's much harder to do things. You can't jump as high,
Yeah.
you can't move as well. It's a different game. Indoor is really like organized and intense. Grass, I think you get the same level of like intensity and like fun as like indoor, where it's like you can do everything you can in indoor on grass, but then you also have the fact that it's grass and I can just jump and dive my heart away and I don't have to worry about
Exactly.
landing on
It's less
hardwood. You know
injury
what I mean?
per se.
So, exactly. So I think
Okay.
grass
Okay.
is
I
my
never knew
favorite.
that they had, because I've only heard like indoor and then beach. I've never heard of grass volleyball. That's
Yeah, they
okay.
have a lot of that actually. Most outdoors, grass
Okay.
and beach split it, but
And
yeah.
I'm assuming they have a men's volleyball team at your school.
They do. So the last two
Okay.
years was the first
Okay.
time they
Because
had it.
my
But
school, we
yes.
only have women's volleyball.
Yeah.
We have
That's
a
how ours was
volleyball
for a while.
club, and that's like usually male, but it's just women's here per se. I would never say I'm not the most athletic of the bunch, but you know, all is cool and all. I've it is it is.
It is.
But obviously, you play volleyball, go to the beach, hang out with your friends. So, how would you say you're able to balance your work/academic life with your social life?
I think for me, it's not almost balancing in my head as much as like a necessity for me because of my personality, the way that like I just am happier and do better when I'm around people. Like a lot of people
Yes.
like need their alone time, need a little peace and quiet here and there, but when I have to decompress after having like a long ass day and doing a lot of work, I'd rather just go out with my friends or do something like crazy or be out with people. That's like almost my decompression. That's like my reset button, being around a bunch of people. So I think it kind of automatically gets balanced because I have to decompress and do a bunch of stuff every
Yeah.
once in a while. I can't just work. So when I'm not working, I'm doing that. It does take a toll sometimes though, because then
Yeah.
sleep gets affected and I realize I have to like tone it down a little bit. But so some days I just
No,
go to the
that's
gym and sleep.
100%.
But apart from that, I never just sit around and
Okay.
I'm never alone.
That's always a good thing to have
Lucky.
too. That's probably the best way to balance stuff out too, because
Not sure about the best way, but it's a
yeah.
way
If
for it
you
depends on the
manage it right,
person.
it is a way, not best, not worst. It is a way like
Mhm.
you did mention for sure.
Yeah.
But with all of these accomplishments,
Yeah.
you were awarded the Coca-Cola Scholarship. So how was that whole process of applying to the scholarship and going down to Atlanta and visiting the World of Goat?
Applying was kind of surreal. Like in the beginning, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, this is not gonna happen anyway. There's a million people applying. Like I
Yes.
think they said
Yes.
115,000 people applied this year. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this because my friend told me to. And then it kind of just became real as the steps came on, and I kept getting emails back to like write a couple more essays, or now you have an interview, and I'm like, okay, now I gotta like lock in. And I started talking to people, and just honestly just did my best. But then the day it came out, it was insane. Like they came out with that little post. I reposted it on my story. I got like on my story. I think I had 200 people
200?
like my story, which is
Hey,
yeah, exactly, right? That's insane. Like on my at the post, sure,
that's
but on a
crazy.
story, didn't expect that. And then everyone from Coke like started following each other and adding them to group chats because we just found each other through mutual contacts and through stories
Yeah.
because they hadn't released the list yet. And we literally came up with 100 people
Okay.
within like 24 hours, and it was really good. And then we all met in Atlanta, and we like literally I met a bunch of people, and all I could see was their Instagram handle above their head because I didn't know them outside of that. All I could see was their Instagram. But it was just really cool because every single person there has a passion. Every single person there deserves to be there for whatever reason they did. Everyone was different, but everyone was same in the way that they made an impact. They did so much, and now they're celebrating all, and they're being celebrated. So we all went there, and all we actually had to do was talk to people, have fun, and then go toward Coke. So it didn't actually make us do work. So it was really fun staying up with all these really cool people who had
It's
so
an
much to talk
extrovert
about.
to dream, you could say. Definitely, definitely. And honestly,
Exactly. Yeah. An introvert's nightmare though, because we walked in and no one knew a single other person, maybe like one or two max, because I had a couple state officers from other
yes.
states that showed up. But apart from that, it was, even for me as an extreme extrovert, not the easiest thing to walk into a room of 150 people that you know nothing about, and you're just constantly thinking, do they
Yeah.
think I'm weird
And
already?
then, I mean, but y'all were like connected through Instagram already though, right?
Yeah, but it's not like we
Okay.
texted all 150 people. Only like 10 people actually texted in the group chat. We
So
all
was
just
it
kind of
like
sat there
easy
and
to talk to
watched.
those 10 people
And then
or?
I think so. I think it was easy to talk to everyone because everyone was in the same shoes and everyone was like, I want everyone to like me, and they're scared about it. And we actually talked about that later during like the team building stuff. So it just made it easier for us to connect because we realized we're all thinking and scared of the same thing. Why not? Let's just forget about it and
Exactly,
do
exactly.
something.
And you get added to
Yeah.
a crazy network too. And then obviously yes, I've
Cook
heard
Scholars Connect.
crazy people on that list for sure.
Vivek
I've
Ramaswamy or
heard
whatever his
I've heard
name
stories
is
about,
on there.
someone told me there was a picture of Vivek Ramaswamy at the bottom of one of the presentations. Someone saw that the room went silent. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know if that was
They
this
said
year.
it
I don't remember
was
that.
this year.
Okay, maybe I just wasn't in that presentation, or maybe I was too tired because I'm gonna be honest, we like did not sleep any of the nights, so we were
That's
falling
fair. No,
asleep
that's
throughout the
100%
day.
fair. That's fair. And obviously,
So
you are, I'm assuming, still very tight with, at least a few of the Coke scholars.
yeah, definitely.
A lot of them are going to like schools in the Northeast too. So it's like, I don't know how far of drives
Yes.
that'd be from like Penn State, like the Ivy.
It's not at
Okay.
Yale is 2 hours. Yale is closer to my house than Penn State, apparently, even though it's not in our state.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then Harvard and the rest of them are like maybe 5, 6 hours,
Yeah, it's not
so
too
it's
bad,
not
but
it's
they're
not
all
horrible.
like, in that general area. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously I've talked to people, they said they're making plans to go see their Coke Scholar friends in like Stanford. So, yeah,
Exactly, we
exactly.
are. Yeah, everyone's either
Yes,
East Coast
that's
or
what I've.
Stanford.
It's the HYSPM. That's what I've heard the acronym at.
I'm not gonna even try
Harvard,
to
Yale,
decode that, but I
Stanford,
get it.
Princeton, MIT. Those are the top schools that
Yeah,
everyone
that
got
makes
into.
sense.
That's
Yeah,
what I've heard, at least. I don't know how. Yes,
yeah. And a lot
yes,
of Duke,
yes.
actually.
Uh, those are all crazy schools, and obviously you, BSMD, Penn State, low-key like a really low acceptance rate too. I'm pretty sure. I remember.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's better
one
than
point
any
something,
Ivy
I
League,
think.
dude. Like, what? That's crazy. Holy. Like, cause I remember I told you about like my brother's friend when they said that it was a massive deal here too, along with like the Ivy Leagues and the Vanderbilts too. So, 100%, 100%. But obviously,
Thank you.
no, you 100% deserve it, dude. Like the work that you've done, that's some crazy work, and this is what a student leader should look like, and that's exactly what the point of the podcast is, to empower leaders of today and tomorrow. 100%.
Thank you, I appreciate
But
it.
why do you personally believe that you were named a Coke Scholar?
I think it was what I heard about the whole Coke Scholar process is that a lot of people have volunteering hours, a lot of people have passion projects, a lot of people have extracurriculars in general. And you can write it down on a piece of paper and it all looks the same. But the difference between a lot of the people I met at Cook Scholars, and I think me too, from the rest of everyone else who applied, is the passion behind it. And I think that came out during the essays and the interview when all of us had real, true to heart stories about why we started this, why we continue to do this, and stories from literally our experiences running this like nonprofit or running Clean Slate for me, or being on an EMT call. And then getting into the interview, you can see that it's not that all I do in my life is study, do work, take tests, and then run my extracurriculars. It's like
Yes.
we're all real people. And I think all the Cook Scholars they did a really good job of weeding it down to, let's get all the people who decided to do everything they possibly could in high school in the community, and then cut out all the people that are bots, basically, if that makes sense. And I mean, obviously you're gonna miss a few, so to all the people that are not bots and still got cut out, it's like, it's bound to happen. You have so many people applying. But I think they did a good job to make sure that the 150 that were selected were like real people along with being accomplished. And I think that's why I got it too. along with
Definitely,
the other
definitely.
149.
That's like one thing that I like when I was reaching out to people and like scheduling interviews. I was like scared because like I opened the co-scholar bio and crazy big numbers on there, and it's like they've raised this much money for this, they've done this much, they've reached out to this many people. I'm like, yo, if they're bots, like how am I supposed to have a decent conversation like with them? But everybody, like you said, all of y'all are, we're all humans at the end of the day, and it's all like y'all are you're just passionate about what you do, but y'all are still like, obviously you have volleyball, you hang out with your friends, you have a social life outside of work, and so does everybody else. So I think, like you said, Coke did a very good job weeding it down to the people that not only are passionate but also are human and genuine at the same time. For sure, 100%.
Fully agree.
So to round out this interview, the Voice for You podcast is about empowering the leaders of today and tomorrow. That is the tagline. So what is some advice that you can give to either me or the audience members or anybody trying to make a difference in their own community and be a leader of tomorrow?
I think to everyone trying to make a difference, and you, I know you're gonna do great things. I know you're gonna make a difference. I'm saying pick something that you actually enjoy doing. Don't just suck it up to do something that you think will look good. Pick something you enjoy doing and try to do something different from everyone else. Don't follow everyone else and teach everyone CPR. Try to find something that's like needed, and it will work automatically. If you find something that's needed, take the time to think about it and start small and keep working up, and it will definitely work as long as you continue working as a real human being. You're not just reaching out to people like a bot and like trying to start off like huge and like be donating thousands of dollars. Just start off with something that doesn't cost money, and then build it up to something that needs money, and start off with something small where you can grow and grow that passion into making
That's
a
one
difference.
thing a lot of people have. There's like 3 or 4 things that every person that I've interviewed has said, and passion is one of them. If you're not passionate about what you do, it's just straight up work and boring work. If you're actually passionate about the work you're doing, then it's more not play, but it's fun, and you actually get more done, and
Exactly. Yeah, and make sure that you pick the people around you who you're going to work with wisely. I think I did a very good job with that, and that's why
the
it's going
people
so
that
far.
play a role in what you do, that if you choose the wrong people, some people can be backstabbers, and they can take you for granted, for sure.
Yeah.
And so obviously that's not something I've heard, but I 100% agree with I've dealt with that myself. So it always is having that group behind you to support you every step of your way. Celebrate your losses. Celebrate your wins and be there for your losses. That was a mix-up on the tongue. That is my bad. But celebrate the wins, and because obviously, like take you getting elected vice president. Obviously, you probably had a whole team celebrate with you afterwards. Like, yeah, like I know for me, I step outside, they take pictures and all that. I step outside, my whole chapter, a lot of people that, I'm not super tight with, like, I'll be honest, a lot of my like closest friends, they all left like as soon as the thing was over. I've heard multiple stories, but there were a lot of people that I was like super, like I was like tight with, but they were there afterwards celebrating with me. Everyone came up to me, started giving me hugs, congratulations. And it truly,
It's the best
bro,
part of
I
it,
got
yeah.
teary-eyed. I'll be so honest. It really did bring a tear, because at the very end you do realize that there are people that care about you and the stuff that you are doing.
Yeah. You're still
Yes.
running your term for officers, right? Yeah, let me tell you, at the end of that, at least for us, my president decided to give me a card and gave us all cards. Yeah, I not just teary-eyed, may have actually just died in that moment and had to like leave. So shout out to her for doing that. But I think you'll get so close to your officer team that no matter what happens, like you'll stay close to them, and it will be emotionally
Ride or
delay.
die. And
It's a
I'm
good year.
super excited for serving this term. I've heard a lot of good things from past teams too. My state officer coach, she served on her the state Tennessee state officer team like 2 years ago. So she's one of the more recent ones, and a lot more. So I'm super excited. I'm genuinely super excited. And obviously, appreciate
For sure,
it.
you got
Obviously,
this.
as a CTSO officer yourself, you've gone through it, and obviously I can reach out to y'all if I ever need any. Obviously, HOSA, FBLA, they are two different fields, but at the
Definitely.
end of the day, it is a CTSO. CTSO is a CTSO, and yeah, for sure, for sure. But once again, Rohit, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. Spreading your words of wisdom to me, the audience members, and just in general, because it truly does mean a lot to me. Taking a shot on me and coming here and discussing, just having a conversation, it truly does mean a lot. So thank you. Definitely, definitely.
Thank you for
And to the
having me.
viewers at home watching, thank you so much for watching till the very end. Remember to follow the Voice for You podcast on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Music, or basically just wherever you can stream your podcast from. And once again, I'm your host, Jeshwant Vana. Thank you so much, Rohit, for joining the podcast, and we will see you all next time. Thank you so much.